Welcome to the Moms Being Moms podcast, where we swap our weekly mom moments, wins, and fails, then cover stories of moms being moms, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm Jessica.
I'm Sam.
I'm Whitney.
And let's mom it out. All right, first episode.
I have so many stories that this is going to be so easy.
I know, I'm excited.
Which one do you choose?
I'm excited, I know.
Screw up of the week makes the podcast.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in to our first episode. Bear with us as we figure things out. First, we are going to give a layout of the podcast, what you guys can expect every week. So, kind of already told you, we'll share our weekly mom wins, our fails, our stories from the week, and then dive into a story about a mom. So we're going to have historical moms, celebrity moms, true crime moms. Some of these stories will be inspiring and amazing, and others will be bad, but they'll all focus on moms. So before we actually get into it, we're going to set some ground rules. First rule is we are going to try not to say our kids' names, just to give them some privacy.
The second one is going to be no mother-in-law bashing, mostly because it's Jessica's mom is my mother-in-law and Whitney's mother-in-law.
And also because we love our mother-in-laws.
Yes.
Yeah.
Clearly, I thought that was implied. And rule number 3, no politics, because you get that everywhere else.
Gross politics. All right, but next we have some no promises. So no promises on cursing. We're gonna try our best, but no promises.
No promises with husband venting, because let's be real, we all need to husband vent.
We love them, but they be stupid.
But and no promises on wild side tangents, because well, one thing leads to another.
We all have mom brains.
Oh yes, and there's 3 of them in this room.
ADHD at that.
All right, so that's the podcast. We're going to get into who we are. I'm Jessica. I'm a mom to 4 kids, 8, 5, 3, and 1, as well as 2 dogs. I'm married to my high school sweetheart, Bobby. I am an accountant as well. In my free time, I enjoy running, working out, video games, reading, and true crime podcasts. I also love all things Disney and Harry Potter.
Next, I am Sam. I have 3 kids, ages 5, 4, and 1. My husband's name is Wyatt, and I have been a stay-at-home mom now for about 4 years. I do still have my license. I was a licensed veterinary technician, but that's just on hold while I be a stay-at-home mom. I have a reading addiction. I am currently in the thick of my sourdough journey, and if you know, you know. It's an insane journey, and I will never turn down a glass of wine.
I'm Whitney. I didn't write this down because stay with me if you want to color outside the lines a little bit, but I've got 3 kids. They're 10, 6, and 3. I just recently became a stay-at-home mom. I was working kind of corporate in a gym, and I really, really missed that life, but I've had fun being at home, and so now I am working on entrepreneurship, and I still work all the time. I really don't know what my hobbies are yet, so I'm figuring that out as we go on the stay-at-home mom journey. Cleaning seems to be right up there on the list lately, though.
Always cleaning. Always.
Awesome. All right, so that's this podcast. That's who we are. Let's actually mom it out with our mom wins and fails. So my mom win this week is just starting this podcast. So I have a 2026 bingo board, and on it was to ask about starting the podcast. I didn't even put start a podcast on that board. So to start this is amazing. And we get to hang out and push our kids onto our husbands.
Yeah, next time.
Yeah.
My mom win is, I think, also coming here and actually sitting down and doing this podcast. I've definitely been looking for a new hobby, and I feel like this is going to be a great one. Jessica and I kind of talked about it when I first got here, about how we just wanted to also have time just to spend like actual time together with Jessica and Whitney, and just do things other than being moms. Even though that's what we're talking about.
I'm going to give a 2 for 1 real quick, because as I was coming in the door here, I have my 3-year-old with me and I shut her fingers in the door. So there is that. And I was late, of course. But my main mom fail for the week was I forgot picture day. I'm a stay-at-home mom so that I can be a better mother and make the things that are on the calendar. And after reminding all my kids to remind me that picture day was coming on Monday, when they got off the bus, they reminded me that picture day had already happened that day.
I also forgot picture day
So
on
I
Monday.
texted Sam and I said, "Why didn't you remind me about picture day?" She
And I said, "Oh my God, that was today."
Oh my gosh.
I do have my 6-year-old has hair down to her butt, so she needs to be brushed once in a while, and it was mildly managed that day. So here we are.
I am so surprised your son did not remind you.
I know, this is not mother-in-law bashing. This is the truth. My son is my mother-in-law.
Yes.
And so I count on him to make sure I am on time and do the things. But nope, we all forgot about picture day. But who puts picture day on a Monday?
I know. That's why I
rough.
thought it was on Tuesday.
I had the 31st in my brain as well, but here we are.
Yeah. Won't be buying those pictures.
Not unless we want a good shekel.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. All right, well, let's get into our story. Have you guys heard of Angela Cavallo?
I have not.
Nope.
Okay. All right, well, let's give this mom her moment. She was born in the 1930s, and I don't know how many kids she has. She has at least one. I think she has another one based on this story. But so since I knew this was going to be a long episode with the introductions, I picked a short story, and I don't have as much information as we will in the future, but bear with me because this story is great. All right, so we are in Lawrenceville, Georgia. It is April 9th, 1982, Good Friday, which is coming up for us. Her then teenage son, Tony, who's a high school junior, had a 1964 Chevy Impala jacked up in the driveway. He had removed a rear tire and was working on the suspension. Angela is inside, and Johnny Edwards, who is 11, was visiting his grandparents next door. He comes to the door, says there's been an accident. She comes out to find Tony pinned under the car. Something had been stuck, and in trying to loosen it, he rocked the car off the jack. So now he was caught in one of the rear wheel wells. So she could see him from the waist down, but waist up, he's under the car. He's not immediately crushed, but is out cold, which makes sense because the car weighs about 3,500 pounds. So Angela tells Johnny to go get help. She grabs the side of the car and lifts it up. The newspaper article says she raised it about 4 inches. She doesn't know if it was that much, but it was enough to take the pressure off. She held it there for about 5 minutes until 2 neighbors eventually were able to come, reinsert the jack, and drag out Tony.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Tony went to the hospital, but was okay. No brain damage. They did a CT scan and everything. Totally fine. Angela, at that point, was in her late 50s, and she was a grandmother, which is why I think she might have had another child. But yeah, she guesses she kept the car propped up for those 5 minutes. She describes herself as 5'8", large framed and strong, but figures she couldn't normally pick up a car, which I don't think many people could.
Safe assumption.
Right. So she was like, it had to have been adrenaline. I think adrenaline is a little bit more shorter lived. So this is actually probably more an example of hysterical strength, which is only in life or death situations, which she obviously was in. It's not medically recognized, and it's mainly just based on events that happened that people have reported back. Fun fact, the word hysteria comes from the Greek word for uterus. So, kind of full circle there.
It was a really far leap. Not.
Right? So, there were actually some studies done on this in the Journal of Applied... I'm going to mess this word up. Physiology? The Journal of Applied Physiology.
Close.
Okay. Tell me what it says. Tell me that word. Physiology. I'm going to let everyone know I have a hard time with words. I even put this in a pronunciation tool to get it right, and I messed it up. But the article is called Some Factors Modifying the Expression of Human Strength. And in it, they write, the maximal pool of forearm flexors was increased and in some instances decreased in a predictable fashion by a loud noise, the subject's own outcry, or certain pharmacological agents, or by hypnosis. Significant average changes ranged from positive 26.5% to negative 31% were observed. So basically, they're saying you have the ability to just exert this amazing strength that you normally wouldn't be able to if you can like shed yourself of acquired inhibitions. So like the thought of, I can't do this. So like, I don't know, you think about like
tends to make you
stressful situations, or like if you've been drinking and you're like, I can do this. You might be able to. Finally, so fun little tidbit I learned too is in a 1990 interview, the late comic book artist Jack Kirby said he created the Incredible Hulk after seeing a mom lift a car off a kid. However, his former assistant doubts the story, saying Kirby never mentioned it privately. But I like to think the Hulk is based on a mom lifting a car off her kid.
Justifies my outburst.
I'm going to tell people that.
Yes, right?
I'm going to tell my kids that.
But exactly.
Do you know what the Incredible Hulk did? Do you know why the Incredible Hulk was made? Because of a mom.
You're
Not
welcome.
Because of his issues.
Well, even if that's not true, we do know of a true story of a woman lifting a car off her kid, and that woman is Angela Cavallo. What a mom. Do you guys think you could do it?
Life or death? For my own kid?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I would.
I feel like I'd give it my darndest.
Yeah, would I do that? Or would I have put
What size vehicle?
There's a Ravenclaw for you. I just put the Jack back in, you idiots.
I have been diagnosed as a Ravenclaw by my sister-in-law, so bear with me. I always thought I was a Gryffindor. Or a Brave instead.
Yeah, I mean, I'd try. I mean, you know, depends on what kid, if I could do it or not, but that was a joke. I love all my kids.
I was still processing
because you were thinking through my kids, which ones would she try to save? All of them. All of them is the answer.
All of them.
All right. Well, that's our first episode. I think that went well.
Yeah.
Be sure to follow, subscribe, follow, subscribe, like, rate, all the things that people do on the podcast.
Suggestions, they're always welcome. What do you want to hear?
Love suggestions. We have a Gmail, momsbeingmomspodcast@gmail.com, possibly a future website. And we do have an Instagram @momsbeingmomspodcast, and I will be posting their picture of the article with Angela as well as the sources. I think that's it for our first episode.
Come back next time for a good chuckle. Learn how to laugh at yourself.
So many chuckles. We'll laugh, we'll cry, we'll judge. Until next time, Mom's out.